Hello, just quick thing before the video. Um, Bill, for this video, you will need to know this information because um I don't exactly remember if I stated it in the video, but everything, as you can see down here, like even Lego Fortnite, um like you need building to build houses. In Battle Royale, you need building to survive and actually make it further in the match. And things like for instance, we have a little crazy red versus blue. You will need building in there to win against the other team in a team versus team, kind of like Team Fortress 2. It's basically a Team Fortress 2 but building. They have like things where it's a 1v1, a 2v2, etc., etc. You have things like box PvP. There's zero build. There's zero build if you just don't like to build, don't like building. But like even the pit, as I state in the video, as you see, building is everywhere and will be extremely necessary for just surviving, because there are experienced players and there are also players that will just annoy you. So it is also important to not let this. It's also important to not let this game get the best of your emotions. And with all that out of the way, I will let you back to the video. Actually, one last thing before the video. This is the map code up here, and this is the name and everything. And I recommend it being on private so you don't have other players using the experience while you're trying to use it. So anyways, back to other me. Hello beginners to Fortnite. Today I'm going to be showing you the most important thing to know when you play Fortnite for player-made maps, like what I'm on right now, or the main Battle Royale map, which you'll really need building for if you want to survive and win the match. And that is building. Now it comes in 3 different materials or durabilities, with wood being the weakest but the most common to find, with it being 150 durability, and you can find it in trees, houses, and just like everywhere basically. I'm pretty sure you can even get it from plants sometimes. Then you have bricks, which has twice the durability, but it's a little less common to find, with it being at only buildings and I think sometimes bridges. And finally we have metal, which is the strongest out of 3 at 500 durability, but is the hardest to find, as you can only get it from a select few things, like basically anything you know is made out of metal except for vehicles. Vehicles will not give you any materials. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to show you some basics that you need to know. So first of all, you need to know your controls, like basically what you will use to build. Now, as you can see in the bottom right, I have my walls set to Q, floors set to C, ramps to V, and cones to B. And I'll show you how to use all of these yourself in a little bit. But I recommend using whatever you feel the most comfortable with. So that may take only a couple minutes, might take a couple hours, but in the end it will be very useful, and using your builds very fast. But like whatever you do, I would not recommend using the scroll wheel, because if you get stuck on using that, it'll just not work out as well as you would hope it would be. And I know that from personal experience, as I ended up getting stuck on scroll wheel. So anyways, after you have chosen your controls, you're now ready to begin building. Which first, I'll show you some basic edits for the wall. Alright, now when you're in a position like this, where typically you cannot really go anywhere, you're in the middle of a fight, you need to attack the enemy. And we're assuming for this situation that you have the wall. Now most might want to do this, go in and attack, but that is not a good move at all, I would say. As you doing this, or having like this, leaves you with no protection against the enemy, and you can easily be eliminated, as the ramp here can give them an advantage to gain extra damage points by hitting you in the head with their shotgun or weapon. So what I would recommend doing is getting right here and building a window, meaning that you can have some protection while you go to aim and shoot at least decent fast. So like this, you've edited this to be a window now, and you can go. Now this isn't the fastest shotgun. It is, in fact, I would say it's slower than the shotgun in the current meta. But if you use like something like this SMG, which is around the speed of the current SMGs in the meta, as you can see, that'll give you some extra damage before they can attack you. Another one I would recommend is this, where it's like I believe it's called bunny hopping. No, that doesn't sound right. I forgot the exact name of it, but this is basically where you will go and attack the enemy by jumping up and shotgunning them. And as you jump down, unless the enemy manages to attack you, you will be back in protection very quickly. And for this specific thing, it's alright if you use wood, but I would recommend something like metal or a brick, so they don't knock down this little wall while you're jumping up and doing this. And now the next situation you could be in is being on top of a box. So like box fights are like the current thing everybody's doing in Battle Royale and many, PvP player-made maps. So, and for this, let's assume I do have it, but then we'll also assume I don't have it. So if I do have this upper part, I will simply just edit like this, SMG, and then if they are trying to run because you have depleted their health, then you can go in and run after them. Unless they have something that is constantly regenerating their health, then do not run after them, and instead go from an angle and shoot them instead of chasing them, as it wouldn't exactly end well if they have constant health and you are near them, because you will most likely not have the constant health, like constant health, or I should be saying a constant supply of health that is regenerating it, as is available in the current meta for Fortnite. So yeah. So here now let's assume I don't have this, and like I don't have this cone or this floor, and it is instead under control of the person in the box. So that what they could do is simply edit these two to go up and headshot and headshot me, leaving me weakened, and then they'd be able to jump up and eliminate me. So something you would want to do is before they can edit up and attack you, take back this, or take it away from them, I should say, not take it back. And then that would allow you to edit down, shotgun them as seen as I showed, if you did, in fact, have the advantage. Okay, now one thing I actually forgot to show you that I reminded myself when I was up there was what to do when you don't have this wall and you're in like this type of situation. Now, what you would really want to do is be on a cone like that person is, like the person over there would be if I had the wall. So then, if they edit this to go like this so they can headshot you, you could do this and you'd be able to avoid it, but then they can simply just bring out their SMG and shoot it down. So you would need to then break this and get out, or edit it if you have that wall. Now, knowing some of these basics, we'll move on to the Sky Basin. Well, not necessarily Sky Basin, but needing to go up into the air when you're fighting an enemy. So in like a simple situation, you'd probably just do whatever you're thinking of doing, like not really thinking about you might just not think about your surroundings. Like, as you see, I did not protect my backside while I was ramping up. I could have easily been attacked from, like, I could have attacked here, my ramp could easily just be destroyed. So when you're in a fight, you need to at least kind of know how you're gonna not have your whole builds that you're on just be obliterated, ending with you and possibly your enemy as well being eliminated. So what I would recommend is doing something like this, where you have multiple walls, and after that, like having a wall to ensure that your whole sky base does not fall down will just really improve your overall ability to go up and attack the enemy player. So, and like as you can see, if I do this, it takes a little longer. It would take a little longer if you just have one singular ramp there. So that would be like a basic defense if you're in a rush, at least. I should be saying that's like rushing. But if you have your time, the enemy hasn't not exactly noticed you yet, then I would recommend doing this. And although it would deplete your resources, you will see a massive improvement in keeping your sky base up. But then I also have to take out these two, therefore leaving me more vulnerable, and in this case, causing the said person knocking down your sky base to be able to be attacked by you, the enemy player you're fighting, or another third party. Alright, so next up we're gonna actually have a different sort of box situation, and this is where the enemy player, we just like in a box, on the ground like this. You aren't like in a box fight. This is the start, and like the enemy player is probably wanting to just try and find a weak point in where you're looking at or in like your builds, and then attack you from there. So in this situation, there is two things you could do which have around an equal amount of success. The first one is jumping out and attacking them wherever they might be. But that could quite easily result in them running over and just messing up, hitting you, and then you've been weakened, and then they SNG, and you've been defeated because you edited that up. So that it's around a 50-50 chance for this one. And then next up is just doing a ramp, jumping out, and attacking. And for this one, it would basically be common knowledge to see where they are, and just like if they're like right here, and they're running, they've gone right there. You can go right here, jump out so they don't jump in, and you edit and then attack right there. Therefore, so this would have this is like more. It's more likely that this would work rather than this one, because I mean, even if you edit from that way, they could still jump over here and do that. Same goes for this, but they would be more, instead of doing this, so as you can see that took a little while, they'd probably just do that and attack, since that would just be a little faster and would probably make them think they have a slight advantage, or something similar to that. So now it's what to do when you are in fact the one on the outside. If you're the one on the outside, you'll probably be doing what the enemy player was doing in the last example, when you aren't in the box, and you'd probably be running around trying to catch them off guard. And so if they were to edit that up, you'd probably think, oh, I should go over here, interrupt, and attack. But that depends on your location. Now, if he edits up there and you're like over here, what you should do is like peek around the corner, see where he is. If he's not right there, then you're gonna want to aim over here to attack. And if you do see him right there, then you're gonna want to try and headshot him with your shotgun, because that will do the most damage, and then whip out your fastest weapon in order to immediately deal any extra damage before or while he is attacking you. Now, that is essentially all of the basics of building that will allow you to have some advantages over other players in my experience, the most common building situations. But now we gotta figure out those editing, because when you're starting out, you're not exactly gonna be the best at editing. Like I've been practicing my editing for a while, so like in a map like this where you can practice on all sorts of things, go over to something like this where it says edit, and typically it'll have things like edited up. So whenever you're ramping up for Skybase, editing for tunnels, and in builds and stuff, editing down, which isn't all that common to use, but if you're like high up in the air, then you might need to use it. And free building is what we were just in, but then also sometimes there should be like one more that I'm forgetting exactly what it is, but there's typically one more that is pretty important. But we're going to start at editing for ramps. I was actually here not too long ago. So like these types of things, like they cover a bunch of basic edits that slowly get more complicated as it goes. So for this, it just covers cone reset. Sorry. For this beginning part, it just covers cone resets, which then goes the other way around, as you can see. Then cone tunnels, which do that. You might be like this, but soon you might eventually go to like that with enough practice. And like stair edits, which I actually will show you. These center parts right here will actually turn the entire ramp around, so you don't have to just use this and like end up doing some weird stair thing like I did for a very long time. Now wall edit, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. You can even do doors, which I actually forgot to show you. So you can do them in any way. You can even, you can also do like this, so you have a door and then also a window, which could provide some tactical advantages when attacking the player. And then it gets more complicated as we get wall cone tunnels, wall reset edits, of which you actually right click, as you see right here, to reset it. Now you see this, but you can also, instead of just finishing it and then editing, you can do this, reset, and then edit. And then, as you advance, you'll eventually start getting faster and faster when doing these wall edits. And then, I'm not going to show all these because that would take up way too much time. But anyways, you have a wall reset cone edit, of which you have a cone right here that you have to reset, and a wall you have to reset, and that goes down a couple times. You have a wall stair edit, which is basically like that, except instead of resetting a cone, you have to turn the stair like we showed earlier. And then you also have an easy edit, like just an easy edit course. And I like all edit maps that I have seen will have these three things where it increases in difficulty based off of the previous tunnels, but they might have more. They might have like duplications of these. They might not. Like for instance, with this map, but I mean, it's basically just like editing floor, placing that down, then doing that again to go down, then editing the cone as well to go down, and then just like wall and do that as well. So that would be tunnels. Next up we have the edit ups, which I'm gonna start going a lot quicker with these now. So it's just like the other floor edit, but there's no cone reset. Then we have like a cone edit, then a double edit, which for double edits, yeah, that's basically what it looks like. It's just you're editing two things, but it's at extreme speeds like this. But sometimes you will mess up these edits if you're trying to go too fast. And now, as you can see, was not over at the tunnels. Over we have duplications of the going up. So now we have then we have triple edit, which would be the double edit, and then doing a wall and another triple edit. On this, these right here would be very useful in building a situation where you're going up. So like knowing how to ramp up, and then like ramp up, break the wall, and even in some situations you might have to make a cone into a ramp, and then what I did is opening up a cone. And then you have a cone double edit, which is the double edit with a cone ramp. and that is replicated again. Then it's a triple edit, which is the triple edit shown a little earlier, except now you gotta use a cone to get up, and that's shown again. And now for ramp flips. These, I don't think you'll see these like at all, where you have to flip over a ramp. Most of the time, it's just you gotta turn over a ramp so you can get over to your enemy quicker. But I mean, who knows? You might be like building, then you're on the other side of your ramp and need to flip it over. So these would be excellent in providing the maximum efficiency for doing that. And this actually just has a ramp 4 edit, then a double edit, and a triple edit just once. I'm not going to show all of these as this video is already extremely long. So now we are going to head over to the final thing on this map for editing, and this is basically going to be the final thing that you need to know, which is floor, which is like going downwards. So you have the floor edit here, just like the going up. You have the double edit, just as before. You have triple edits, just as before. You have double stair edits. This is actually different. So you'll this is very good. Oh wow, okay, I actually have not done this myself. So okay, so it seems that for this type of situation, you would be editing. You would be in a situation where you have to edit stairs a bunch. I mean, I personally don't think you will ever experience something like this. But I mean, who knows what the future will bring? Oh, this right here is what you'll probably see the most common. Instead of ramps, you'll probably see going straight up. So like, yeah, I'm going really fast here because it's quite a simple edit portion right there. But then it get more complicated where you got double edit. So like, okay, so for this instance, let's see here. So for this instance, you'd actually have to come down, all the way down, and then edit, which does provide some disadvantages, but overall, this will probably not cause too much damage to your efficiency when building and attacking the enemy. Now for stairs, you'd see something more like this. You wouldn't typically see just a stair tower where it's just a bunch of ramps. You typically see like a floor and a ramp. So like constantly editing floor ramp, and a double edit hunts. So actually this, I believe, has all of those combined. Never mind. Okay, I was wrong about this, but okay. So anyways, after all of this, we have now seen how to the basics that you can find in any practice map. It's not just exclusive to this specific one for editing up, editing tunnels, editing down, and along with that, we've also seen how to handle some basic situations that you will see in a battle royale match. And of course, that would be battle royale, and most of the time in PvP maps as well. But there might be some situations in a map like the Pit, which is the most popular PvP fighting map, where you would most likely see not something just like this. You would probably see something like absolutely chaotic. So you probably see a bunch of this where it's randomized builds everywhere because people aren't exactly caring about how much materials they have. So like the pit is just an entirely different situation um that you would need to know. You need to be a lot more. You need to be pretty experienced in battle royale with building and with aiming, in order to be prepared for the pit. But anyways, I believe from my knowledge and experience, that is essentially all you need to know for the basics on building, and basically almost everything you need to know on editing. And I will see you later.